If you thought God might be calling you to ministry, there's a really important message for you in today's lesson. As Jesus settled in Capernaum and ministered in the Galilee region, he sent his disciples into nearby communities with the gospel. Think of it as a mission trip. They would tell people about Jesus, and they would be able to have authority over impure spirits. By sending them out two by two, they must have covered a large geographical area. We don't know where they all went, but this part of Israel is littered with the ruins of ancient towns. With news of Jesus going viral, all of these communities must have heard about the famous rabbi. And these communities also practice great hospitality. They typically open their homes to travelers and welcomed guests into their town squares and synagogues. One of the first things a gracious host would do for dusty travelers would be to prepare a way for them to wash their feet. The paths connecting these communities were not paved. Traveling on foot was dusty, dirty work. Maybe the disciples were nervous about this trip. I know I would have been. So Jesus told them if they didn't receive a warm welcome from a town, they were just to walk away. And as a sign to people who would not help them even clean up, they would shake the dust off their feet as they left. It's a way of saying, here, just keep your dust. We don't even want your dust. Now, we're not aware that that ever happened. People seemed delighted to hear about Jesus, his teachings, and to be healed in his name by some miracle. But let's come back to where we started. This is a good place in our walk through Mark's gospel to talk about ministry. You might be considering full-time ministry as a profession. You might have been invited to go on a mission trip. You may feel led to start a new ministry in your own community. If so, then do what those disciples did. Step number one is to obey God's calling. That's a non-negotiable. The disciples of Jesus heard a very clear instruction from Jesus, and then they left. They did what he said. They obeyed. They also came home rejoicing because of all they had seen. They enjoyed the experience. But you can't skip to the part where you come home rejoicing until you first obey the command to go. So step number one is to go. That's why we call it a first step. Put one foot in front of the other and go. And don't take all day to prepare for the trip either. Jesus told his disciples to take nothing for the journey except a staff. Maybe they looked at Jesus the way you're looking at me. Seriously, just a staff? Yep, just a staff. No bread, no bag, no money in your belts. Just go. Now, clearly, you might have trouble getting on a flight to a foreign land if you don't have a plane ticket, a passport, and some money. Some mission trips, some callings to ministry will take a bit of planning, but the planning itself is step number one. But many opportunities for ministry are yours for the taking right now. Maybe the point of the passage is this: don't over-prepare. Don't wait until all of your questions are answered before plunging ahead. Stop wasting time thinking about what might go wrong. More than likely, God will test you with many small opportunities before he will call you to a bigger challenge in ministry. So perhaps you can share Christ with a neighbor right next door before going to a distant land to do the same thing. You could start a Bible study in your home, or maybe at your workplace, or maybe at school before class starts. You could join someone who's already leading an existing ministry, maybe inside a prison, as a way of seeing if that's a good fit for you. This is what happened for the disciples. This early mission trip was something of a trial run. Several years later, Simon Peter will be leading the church in Jerusalem and traveling all over the coastline of Israel. Do you remember his encounter with Cornelius at Caesarea? He was first in Jaffa and he traveled up the coast before seeing a Roman centurion come to faith in Christ. If Simon Peter had been too afraid to go on the first mission trip, God would not have called him to reach Cornelius. God would have called someone else. But Simon Peter had the honor and the joy of sharing Christ with a very influential man, in part because he had worked up the courage to take a mission trip early in his walk as a disciple. Young John wound up leading the church in Ephesus as an older man. He spent 30 incredible years of ministry there, including his time at Patmos. But his first taste of preaching came when he was just a teenager on the mission trip Mark writes about in this passage. According to the earliest church traditions, many of the disciples scattered around the Roman Empire sharing the good news, except for Judas, who, by the way, had also been a part of that first mission trip. Each one of the disciples spent a lifetime traveling, preaching, teaching, healing, influencing, sharing Christ with so many people. You know, the world is different because they did this. The world is different because they obeyed Jesus on that very first opportunity to give ministry a try. In every generation, others have heard the call to go. You and I heard about Jesus because countless others were brave enough to answer God's call to ministry. So, if God seems to be calling you to ministry, there's only one way to find out if you're going to be a part of this incredible story. Take up your staff and go.